Larry with Midnight Magic. Welcome to the best boat on the lake. Remember, folks, this is a boat that we own, not that we rent. Treat it like we own it, and it will last for a long time. I've been on it for 14 years already. I look forward to the next 14 and the next 14 after that. First thing, make sure you put on your sunblock. When you come on the lake, you're excited to be on the lake. You have sun coming from every direction. It's coming off the deck. It's coming off the water. Put your sunblock on so you don't get burned on the first day. Next item of business, make sure you put a pool noodle on the bottom of the slide. Make sure that nobody bangs their head on it. Another place you don't want to bump your head is on the stairs. So if there's not noodles on here from the previous owner, sacrifice one of your noodles and put a little padding on these sharp corners. Make sure you put your ladder up. Ladder goes up. Ladder goes up right here. This is the hatch cover for the front hatch. Make sure that if someone is down there, that someone's up here watching, that nobody just walks into it, and as soon as you're done with it, close it up. There are two water systems on the boat. There's lake water and fresh water. The boat comes with 120 gallons of fresh water. Fresh water in the bathrooms comes out of the little tap right here. Lake water comes out of this faucet and it comes out of your showers. So both showers and both hand faucets are lake water. You can run those as long as you want. When the hot water is going, take as long a hot shower as you want. It's no problem. The shower on the back deck of the boat as well is lake water. Brush your teeth with the fresh water. The kitchen sink always runs fresh water. This is our water manifold. As I said, we have two water systems. This lower water system is the lake water. The top water system is the fresh water system. There are directions here if you ever have to fill with water. The marina will fill it with water before you go out. But if you needed to fill it yourself, there's directions here. If when you're underway on the lake and you use the lake water, such as to take a shower, what will happen is that it will lose siphon. Then when you stop and you dock your boat to the beach, you'll realize you just won't have any water. The way to correct that is to take this hose right here that says crossover, but yet it has this line to here, and put a bucket right here or a pot right here and open this up with the key. Open this valve right here with the key well, the pump will be running anyway, but with the pump running, open this up by turning it 90 degrees, and it will blow the air out of the line and you'll hear the system working. Okay, we're still in the back master bathroom. In this cupboard we find our first aid kit. Here's our first aid kit. Check it out before you get started. Make sure you know what you have in it. This is its storage location right here. This is the entrance to the front hold of the boat. As it turns out, there are 5 lake water filters to keep an eye on. 2 in the engine compartment, 1 that we can access from here, the front hold, and 2 that we can access from the back hold. So in a minute you're going to see some stills of these different items. We have the front hold, we have a creeper that we lay on our belly, and we go all the way almost to the very back of the boat. As we're going down on the right hand side, you're going to see the freshwater tanks. A little further you're going to see a lake water strainer. Quite a bit further you're going to see 3 poop tanks on the left side, and behind those poop tanks is another one of the lake water strainers. There are 3 accesses to the basement. This one in the front, one in the back master bedroom, and then one in the bedroom that is off the living room. We're going to go to that one next. There's a light switch right here, a rocker light switch, that will turn on the lights for the entire basement. If this does not turn on the lights, leave it, and it needs to be turned on from the other lower bedroom. It's a 3-way switch, it's not wired properly. So between this switch and that switch, between the two of them, you'll end up getting the basement lit. We're in the lower front bedroom just off the dining room table. This is the second of our 3 openings into the basement. The light switch I was referring to earlier is right here. So between this switch and the one in the front, you'll get the whole basement to turn on. Things that you have access to here are the 2 poop tanks that go to the back bathroom. Earlier you have seen a picture of 3 poop tanks on that side. That's the hallway bathroom. So we can check our 2 poop tanks here, and then to the right we're going to see another one of our lake water strainers, and to the left we're going to see another lake water strainer. We're going to put some pictures of that in right now, and then we'll head to the back basement access. We're in the back master bedroom. Going to go in the last hold. By the way, the front hold by the front helm, you're welcome to use that for storage of your suitcases and your boxes and so forth. And this one back here is a great storage for your suitcases and other big items. I did just locate a light switch. Couldn't tell you how that works, haven't checked it myself, but there's a light switch here. When we go in, we'll show you some pictures. We're going to look at the back of the poop tanks that we just saw from the front bedroom. We're going to see another lake water strainer, and then we're going to go to the right, and there's another lake water strainer. This lake water strainer here is for the generator. This lake water strainer here is, I believe, for the water slide. So I'm going to show you where the other 2 are, and your first time on the boat, as you check off, have the person who's checking you off show you how to clean the strainer. You'll need to keep an eye on it on your trip, and if there's debris going in it, you'll need to clean it. So 2 in the engine compartment. This one and this one. And this one's critical. It's our generator water filter. We're here at the power panel. The top portion of the power panel has to do with the 12 inverter batteries which are on the front deck. Those inverter batteries will power all of this for about a day. When these batteries are dead, then you have to run your generator to charge the batteries. This will also run your shore power. If these 2 switches are this way, so shore is exposed, then you'll be running shore power off of 2 power cords. If you end up, in theory your shore power will be hooked up for you, but if you hooked it up, you would plug it in with these 2 fuses off, then you'd turn them on. Right now we would be running off of shore power. If we're going to run off the generator, we would turn those off, come over here to generator, run the blower for 4 minutes, start the generator with this switch right here. We press on it, the green light will come on when it's running. Let the generator warm up for a few minutes. Flip this one. Wait a minute. Flip this one. Everything's on. Everything's labeled. There is something that's not labeled right, whether it be a fan or a hallway light, that comes under television, or the fan works off the hallway light or something. So another one of these isn't quite right. It's not a big deal, but I think it is the fan running off the television switch. Anyway, always have this one on, inverter on to charge battery. Make sure that baby is on when your generator's running. This inverter outlet right here is a front freezer. That stays on. This lower system is the 2 house batteries back in the engine compartment that we talked about earlier. There are 2 12-volt batteries that run this, which runs your lower helm, your upper helm, and your water pumps, your fresh water and your lake water pump. That's this system here. Midnight Magic has 12 inverter batteries. These are the batteries that are used to run the refrigerators and the 120-volt electric system during the day. Here's 6 batteries right here. These ones are very accessible. We check the water by twisting on the caps. There's a set of 3 caps that will come off with 1 twist. I'm going to show you the other side here in a second. And in the back storage cabinet, is where we keep the distilled water. There's always plenty of distilled water. When filling a battery, you just have to make sure that the lead plates have water on them. You can bring it up, maybe a ½ inch so the plates are covered. Let's take a look right here. This access is hidden underneath the ice chest. So you just have a couple people help you slide the ice chest over. And there you go. Same thing right here. You get to open up all three compartments on each battery. Check the water level. Make sure it should be about a ½ inch down from the top, about a ½ inch up from the lead plate. I'm going to talk about the port engine hatch right now. Port is on the left side, 4 letters, P-O-R-T, L-E-F-T, port. Inside this engine compartment, we have one starter battery right here that will start this engine. We're going to check its water. We're going to need to use a screwdriver to pop the caps off. In front of that battery, we have another battery, and that is to run the computerized engine synchronization controls called an MMC computer system. So 2 batteries here. And then over here, this battery is a starter battery for this engine, and I believe the generator. And then these 2 batteries are called the house batteries, and those will run the toilets and the lake water and freshwater pumps, I believe. So needless to say, you have 3 batteries to check the water here, 1 battery over there. I'm going to talk about the port engine hatch right now. Port is on the left side, 4 letters, P-O-R-T, L-E-F-T, port. While we're in this compartment, before we go to the next, we have our engine here. We have the outdrive oil here. This is outdrive oil. It has to be to this level. If the level drops, it will set off an alarm. Power steering is right down here in the front of the engine. You'll see it from where I'm standing. And then here's our oil filter. This is something important to take note of. We can see that it was changed 6/29/19 a year ago. So we always want to note when the oil was changed. To check the oil, we have a dipstick. Dipstick is right back here. It's yellow. The tip is yellow. Because the engines have been sitting, I should be able to get a good reading on it without a rag. Otherwise, you just use a rag. So there's our dipstick. And as I read this one, it's just a little bit over full, but that's fine. So there's our port engine hatch. Another thing that's in here of interest is the blower. There's a blower motor right here. Just take a look and see that this 4-inch blower line is free. When that blower is turned on, it'll be blowing air out the side of the boat from the engine compartment. Okay, we're in the center engine compartment. This is where our generator is located. To check the coolant on the generator, it's right here. As we look at it right now, there's actually none in it, so that's no good. But this is where we check the generator coolant. The generator engine oil is right here. I've already talked a little bit about the lake water strainers here. There's an engine meter and at the electrical panel for the generator. That's not accurate. The engine meter for the generator that's accurate is down here on the generator, and this is where the engine hours will be checked when you check onto the boat and you check off the boat. We're going to put some pictures into the fuel tanks. We have in the very center of the boat, in front of the generator, a 100-gallon toy tank. The fuel for that tank will only feed to the gas station at the back of the boat. On the port side, the left side, we have the engine tank for the port engine. There's also a fuel line that will come to the generator. On the starboard side, the right side of the boat, we have another engine tank. The engine tanks, by the way, are 200 gallons apiece. The toy tank is 100 gallons, and the toy tank in the back is another 100 gallons. So we have a total of 200 gallons of toy fuel, 400 gallons of engine and generator fuel. Same with this right side tank. It will feed the right engine and it will feed the generator. You have to know which fuel line is running the generator. And so if we're going to be running it off of the right tank, then the valve coming to the generator, which is labeled, and also you check it by tracing the fuel lines on the ground here, that has to be open and the other side has to be turned off. Midway through your tank, then turn off the right side and open up the left side. So you drain your fuel tanks evenly, and you can check this on your gas gauges at the helm. Okay, now we're in the starboard engine compartment, which houses a starboard engine. Here's our oil check right here, our dipstick. Here's our outdrive oil, date on the oil filter. Down here, the power steering. You can't see it from this angle, but we have our 3 batteries I talked about earlier, our starboard fuel tank. When you're here, standing on this platform, you can reach in and you can switch which tank the generator is pulling from. You have access right here, and the same thing from the port engine hatch. That's how you reach in and change which tank your generator is pulling off of. I'm going to talk a little bit about the fuel lines. These are the fuel lines. The fuel lines come off the engine tanks and go one fuel line to each engine, one fuel line from the engine tanks to the generator's filter, which is up here, another fuel line from the other engine tank to the generator fuel filter, and back to here. So when you're down here, take a look at the fuel lines. We have found them to be cracked in the past. That's something you have to note. So those are our fuel lines. There's not very many. And just something to kind of trace around and check the fuel lines. When you're checking off the boat before you take it on your trip, you're going to inspect the propellers. To put the outdrives up, they're inside the cupboard. We'll look at that in a minute. But here's your inspection hole right here. And with the outdrive up, you can take a very good look at what's going on and you can touch the prop. Since we have the boat out of the water, I'm going to show you what you're looking for from the bottom of the boat. At no time on your trip should the boat be on dry land like this. So hopefully you'll never be under here during the season. One thing I wanted to point out is that when putting the outdrives up for inspection, the boat has to be turned to the left. If the boat is centered or slightly to the right, when this outdrive goes up, it will actually hit the boat. This will not happen on the other side. I don't think anybody knows this. So the boat has to be turned so that the boat's making a left turn so that this outdrive will pull over here and clear this, because we've actually chipped the top of the outdrive. Things to inspect. And by the way, my inspection port is up here. They must know that because it always lines up when they put it up. But anyway, here's a brand new prop. All 3 fins, no dings, no damages, no bend. On the end of the prop, this is in perfectly good shape. So this is a great prop. Looking underneath here is the skag. This skag has made a huge turn towards the right side of the boat. That's not okay. That must be noted. That should be repaired. I'm going to walk over here to our other outdrive. There's another perfect prop. Nice and clean, nice and straight. And the skag on this one is nice and straight down. Skag is clean. Outdrive looks good. Okay, being on a houseboat is a little bit different than at home. The toilet system is very particular. It will not handle anything through it except for what has already gone through you and the toilet paper that's provided by the houseboat. Make sure you get enough toilet paper for the length of your trip. You get it from the checkoff person. You have to have enough toilet paper. You should have at least 1 roll per bathroom per day and 1 toilet chemical per toilet per day. Assign 1 person to be in charge of putting a toilet chemical in the toilet every day of your trip. That's different than at the beginning of the trip when you're going to put a bottle of Ridex in the toilet. That's 1 toilet chemical that goes in once on your trip. And let me see if I can find I can't find one of the toilet chemicals, but they're a little blue pack. Those go in daily. The toilet is a 2-step flush. When you press the toilet to flush, it will drain the water in the bowl and vacuum lots of what's in there. Now, I just have to say it, so just bear with me and follow along. When you're done at number 2 and there's a mess in the toilet, at that point is when you scrub it. Scrub the toilet, pull out your scrubber, and wait a minute, or a couple seconds. The toilet will then give water and do another flush. And that's when you make sure the toilet's nice and clean for the next person. It all happens in one flush. And then your toilet brush back in. Obviously lift that one up too. But that's the proper way. No feminine products, no wipies. They call it flushable wipies. Not on this boat, they're not. Nothing else goes down the toilet. We've lost one poop tank for an entire year over something small going down it. That's the toilet talk. Okay, we're here in the back bathroom, in the master bathroom. We have 2 containers here of Rid-X. This is a product for septic systems. So it says right here, place 1 teaspoon of Rid-X down the toilet at the beginning of your trip. 1 for the back, 1 teaspoon for the hallway bathroom. They're just Tupperware containers like you would find for flour. And so we've put them up here, high and out of the way, so that no children get them. So they're both here, but 1 teaspoon each toilet, day 1 of your trip, and that's it. That's different than your daily blue chemical that the marina gives you. You have a little chemical pouch, you put 1 of those in every day. They serve a different purpose. That's for cleaning our tanks. This is the windlass system. We have a windlass on the back of the boat on each side. The windlass is used for tightening your anchor lines. 1 line of your anchor rope will go to your anchor, whether it be an anchor that you dug into the sand, or if you're tying off to rocks, make sure you bring your own recovery strap, a 3-inch recovery strap. Put that around the rock. You cannot put our ropes around the rock. However you're anchored into the sand or the rock, a line comes to the back of the boat, comes up the middle here, and this crank will allow you to crank it in. Keep your hands away. Keep your hands away. If you're going to loosen your ropes because the boat has gone out or you're getting ready to leave, you'll loosen your ropes if the lake has gone down and you need to let the boat back out a little bit, or if it's time to leave. This rope will be to your anchor on shore. This rope you're going to loosen with. So have a couple of feet here, come out and get out of the way. Pull the rope off, but don't do it with your hands anywhere in here. They'll end up going in. It would be ugly. Before you leave, have the checkoff people demonstrate and show you how to use the windlass. Make sure you know how to use it. One more thing that we have in the back cupboard is an extra winch handle for the windlass on the top of the boat. On the front of the boat, we have 4 sand anchors. You want to anchor the boat with 2 anchors on either side, and then you want to tie off the front of the boat going straight up the beach. We have more anchors in the hold. We have more anchor rope in the hold. We also have anchor rope on the top where the windlasses are. Check with the person checking you off to make sure you understand anchoring. Where I go up on the San Juan, we go very, very gently up onto a rock, and then we'll tie off to rocks using 30-foot recovery straps. And we'll make sure that our houseboat ropes will never touch rocks. That works really well for where we go. If you're going in sand, make sure you bury them deep, 3 or 4 feet deep. You can use the pins to keep them from flipping and throw some rocks on them and lots of sand. Make sure you understand your anchoring before you go out. This is our toy tank gas station. Right here, we have another 100-gallon toy tank. There's a valve on the top of it. I said earlier that the center toy tank in the front of the generator only feeds this pump, which is true. But the thing is, you want to turn off the valve on top of the toy tank that you're not using so that you'll pump from only one and empty it. And when that's empty, you'll know it will be blowing air. Then you'd pretend we pumped the front tank first, then you'd close that tank, and then you'd pump the back tank. So the fill for this tank is right here, and the fill for that tank, I'll show you in a minute, is the center tank. So there's a valve right here, and then the switch for running the pump itself is underneath here. And it's loud, it turns on with a bang, so don't be startled. And then you pull your hose out, make sure you got plenty of hose to fill your boat or your Sea-Doo or whatever you're filling. Then you turn it off when you're not pumping, you put it back in, it will usually kick the pump on, make you jump, don't worry about it, turn the pump off. Carefully feed the nozzle, all the hose and the nozzle back in, make sure that's turned off. Hopefully one day they'll put a switch on here. With this switch, we're able to read these two fuel gauges telling us the fuel level in both tanks. If these gauges are not working, like they're not working now, you tell by tapping on the tank and feeling the side of the tank to see if it's full or not. This tank you have access to from underneath the back of the boat. You can get your hand in here, and then that center tank, you have access to it from the front. So this is our fuel station, and our access panel to access our 3 fuel tanks, our 2 engine tanks, and our center toy tank. If you end up having toy tank gas and not enough fuel tank gas because the generator ran it down or you somehow burned a lot of gas, you can always use toy tank gas, and the line comes all the way over here, and you can fill up either tank from the toy tanks if you need to. This is the back storage closet on the back of the boat. In here we have the switch for the water pump. We have our battery water. We have miscellaneous tools and oils and fluids for the engine. And we have our winch system for putting Sea-Doos on the back of the boat. I'm going to show you how to set one of them up. One is tall and one is short. And you just have to figure that out for your setup, which one you'd want, or if you're using both. So we take the whole thing out. We'll pull out our plug. Drop our winch into the hole. When we pull up our Sea-Doo, we want to make sure and put our safety on it so that it's not just the strap holding on to the Sea-Doo. We're going to put our plug back in the same hole that was the stand. There's a stand for the winch. That's where we put our plug. We'll come over here to this side of the boat, and we'll find where we keep our ramps. They should be tied in place. So we'll untie our ramps very carefully. Not hitting the floodlight, and if you're standing on the back of the boat, not dropping the ramp in the water. We'll bring our ramp over. Our ramp is going to hook in here. And drop in there. That's how our ramp is. We would put our second ramp here. The controller for this is in here. Here's our controller. We plug in our controller here, and we plug in power here to run our winch strap in and out. Up on the top of Midnight Magic, we have 2 storage bins. One on this side, I'll show you the other one in a second. These are to be left empty, and they're for you. Whatever you want to store in them, store in them. They're your locker. Put your stuff in, and your trip, take it back. We got one here, and one here. places to store on the boat. You got these two. You have the basement, which you can access from the master bedroom. You can access it from the Helm master bedroom if you want to put suitcases and stuff back there, whatever you want. In the front, you can put your sodas, whatever you want, boxes. And in a minute, we're going to show you the front holds of the boat. Okay, we're on the front deck of Midnight Magic. This is a starboard hold. We have our anchors here. We have our shovels, our sledgehammers, our rakes. We even have a couple extra boat anchors that you can use. Take home if they're yours. A couple extra anchors for the houseboat as well. Some of them are mighty tweaked. We've tried to straighten them out. We're going to put some still pictures with this. Take a look at it. When you're finished, have it nice and neat. This also allows you room to put the stuff you want to store in here. We're going to take a look at the other one as well. This is one of our front storage hatches. Down here we have some more anchor rope. We have on that side all kinds of tools and shovels. We have a nice foot washing basin. And then we have all this extra toys. All these extra toys. The boat doesn't have enough storage for the stuff that I bring. I keep all my toys at home. I bring them. You know what? It's a nice thought that, oh, I'll go ahead and leave this for the other kids that use the boat. No more. Now the Jenga set's still here. I think this is the coolest thing, though I've never used it. If this is your Jenga set, take it home this year. It's not going to survive the next workday. Coolest thing, but it's very heavy. And I don't know why, but I feel guilty when I put it up on the deck and it gets wet. But whatever's yours, you have to take home so that the rest of us, when we come, and when you come too, there'll be room for your stuff that you store when you're on the boat. There's tons of noodles down here, and I'll say, these are the noodles to cut up and put on the slide and put on the stairs. So, don't put anything in any of the storage holes. We found somebody's fishing rod stashed away in the back. Hopefully it'll be there when you come, but if it's yours, you take it home. Take your stuff home. This is our port hold on the front of the deck. Almost completely empty. Stuff we showed you earlier in the bin. 2 pickup truck loads of personal belongings in the bin. Sorry about that, but it gives all of us room to store stuff. And who knows, maybe it was some owner that's not with us anymore. Lots of room for you to store your stuff. At the end of your trip, take it with you. When it comes time to start your engines, make sure you turn on the blower right here and run it for 4 minutes. When you turn on the blower, go on the back and make sure you hear it. After the blower's run for 4 minutes, start the boat here on the lower helm. Start one of the engines, make sure it's started. You have somebody back there telling you it's started. Start the other engine, make sure it's started. Pulling in and out of the slip here at Wah Weep, or if you go up a dangling rope, I recommend that you pilot the boat from below so that you have a very good view of the edge of the slip. When you put the boat on the sand, if you choose to be up on top like we do, that's fine. So if you pilot yourself out, you're down here. As soon as you get out and you want to pilot upstairs, here's how you transfer power. Put the boat back into neutral. There's a power takeover button here, but pretending we started from here, the power is down here. In a minute, we're going to be on the upper helm. I'll show you the same button. So we've started the boat from below. We come up top, and we want to take over power here. We simply press this button right here, and then our lights will indicate that we have power up top, and then we can use our throttles up here. Should we want to go downstairs and operate the boat? Bring the boat back into neutral. Leave the top helm, go to the lower helm, press this button. The lights will come on to indicate that the power is down there. Right here is the power steering fill, right here. Many years ago, we ran out of power steering fluid and we lost our steering and we came into the harbor at night. So this is your power steering fill. You can have the check-on people check that for you, but you need to know where it is. If this is low, you'll lose steering on both the top and the bottom. This is our communication radio. When you're on the lake and you're just cruising on the lake, always have it to channel 16. That's the emergency channel. So you hear if there's any activity going on near you that might need your help. And the other thing for channel 16, it's used for hailing. So if you have a ski boat that's trying to find you, or you want to talk to them as they pull up to your side, you hail each other on channel 16. You call your name, say the boat name. You're going to, this is Pure Magic calling Mini Magic. And, I'm sorry, Midnight Magic. And you can talk, you'll need to switch channels. Once you've found each other, then you say what channel you're going to. And I think you can go to channel 11, but I'm not sure. I understand that before you leave. And also this will hail in the morning. It will hail for checkoff. And ask them at night what channel to call them on. I think it could be 11 or 14 or something. But we have a radio downstairs and a radio upstairs. Okay, a couple words about engine steering. Engine steering, we have to think of the houseboat as a shopping cart. So this is our houseboat, and we think about a shopping cart with our hands in the back. If we reverse the starboard engine, and what it's going to do is it's going to pull the back of the boat, because the prop is actually paddle wheeling the boat to the side. So if we reverse the port engine, it's going to take the back corner of the boat, it's going to pull it backwards and to the side, because there's a paddle, the propeller is paddle wheeling the boat. So a cool thing is, if you're going to parallel park at a dangling rope, if this is the dock and you're coming into the fuel dock, you'll come in straight at it. Then you turn the boat sideways, and when the boat nose is here, right here, you reverse this engine, and it will paddle wheel right into the dock like that. So, when you're out on the lake, it's calm, there's no one around, do a little bit of steering with the engine so you get a feel for it. Do some turning the boat by bringing one engine in reverse, one engine in forward. And as you're steering, as you'll find out quickly, it's 75 feet long. It takes a long time for things to happen. So when you're in the marinas and you're in a closed space, go slow. When you're going to put it on the beach, take your time. And do know that pretend you're going to come straight on your beach and you want to move the front of the boat that way. So you're coming onto the beach and you're moving the wrong direction. You want to go over there. You can just pull that engine back. Pull back on this engine, it'll bring your nose over. Because it not only pulls the back of the boat, it pulls the front of the boat as well. So if you want to close your eyes, if you're squeamish, that's fine. The way to properly check a poop tank is to put a light to the side. Once you put a light to the side, you'll see the level. This also demonstrates why we're going to put a bottle at the beginning of our trip of Ridex or something like that to help clean our tanks. They're a lot cleaner than they used to be, but we're gonna work on that. So that's how you check a tank. The tanks do have indicators on them that will show in the front, but they do not work. The indicators where the power station is not accurate. The way to check a tank is just put your light to the side of it. This works for these two tanks. And the other three, you'd be all the way down the hallway on the creeper, and you can check them just like that. Check them. When you come on the boat at night, make sure all three are empty. If they're not empty, get them to empty them before you go out. Okay, some closing thoughts on Midnight Magic. Number one, safety. Make sure everybody's safe. Make sure when you're moving the boat off the dock or when you're going to put it on the beach, you know where everybody is. Keep everything safe. Number two, have a good time. We're out here to have a great time. Have a great time. Make sure that you hear from a previous owner. The previous owner will call you, tell you a couple of things to bring. When your trip is winding down, get on the phone with the next owner. Call them and give them a boat report. Tell them if something's not working. They need to make sure it's fixed before they go out, or whatever small supply or supplies, whatever they need to bring out. Keep in touch with each other. Have a great time at Midnight Magic. It is the best boat on the lake.